Thanks for watching Erik the Travel Guy with you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Very important. Like this video. Make that bell ring. Share it with your friends. Brandy Yanchyk is here. She's a journalist and host of Seeing Canada and Seeing the USA, seen on PBS and Amazon Prime, great channel. And we're Zooming with her now.
Brandy, it is so good to meet you, and how bizarre that we are meeting together on Zoom for the first time.
It is very, very bizarre, but you know, I think a lot of us are getting used to these Zoom meetings. Even last night, I joined a British Columbia wine event on Zoom with the winemaker, and it's just, everybody's having to adapt right now.
Absolutely. Now, you do two shows. A lot of people will know about your first show that you did, which, Seeing Canada, and you're adding a second show, Seeing the USA. Now, you're kind of stepping into my territory here, Brandy. I'm getting a little territorial a little bit.
I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to give my viewers who like my personality and that kind of thing an opportunity to explore the United States with me. Yeah. And some of the things that I do in the United States is I always try to have an Indigenous or Native American component in each one of my episodes, which I found to be something that viewers really like. My show is also really hands-on, so I'm, getting involved with stuff, making stuff. And because of COVID-19 right now, a lot of people are thinking about staycations. And my Seeing the USA series gives people the opportunity to do things like visit a bakery and do things that you can do in those states without having to get on an airplane and that kind of stuff. So
I think one of the things that people find out when they start to really explore this country, Canada, is that there's a lot of space and there's a lot to see and do without leaving your home country, or perhaps just visiting Canada or US, whichever is appropriate, wouldn't you say?
Yes, and I'm going to blow your mind with a fact, okay?
Oh,
and every time I tell people this fact, they go, I cannot believe it. So imagine Canada. It is the second largest country in the world after Russia. Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
We have the same or similar population to California. When you think about that, that all those people in California are in the second largest country in the world, in Canada, you realize how much space is in Canada and how enormous it is. So we've been doing social distancing for a while here, Erik. For some of us in the cities, it's something new.
You're
but
right.
There's people who live in remote communities who don't see people that much,
Well, and I wanted to ask you that too, because again, of course, we're talking about these shows that are on PBS, they're on Create, they're on Amazon Prime, and that's great. They're getting them out. But long before these shows existed, you've been making documentaries. I think I read a stat that you made, more than 13 or 14 or 15 full-length documentaries in various subject matter. But again, you're no stranger to getting out there and really learning these stories for yourself and presenting them, which isn't that what travel is all about?
Yes, I started my career as a reporter for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and then I moved to England and I worked for the BBC, made my first documentary there, and then I came back to Canada, where I'm from, and I started making more documentaries, and then started working for the BBC's travel show as one of their reporters, mostly covering Canada, did some stuff in New Zealand and Australia and Finland. But then I had such an appetite for travel after I had a taste of it that I talked to my distributor and said, hey, how do you feel about me putting together a travel show called Seeing Canada? And I did that in 2017. I've made 12 episodes. And that show was awesome because I had an opportunity to visit every province and territory at least twice. And not a lot of Canadians can actually say they've been to all those places, right?
And back to the big space. I mean, but what would have been some of those destinations that left that mark on you?
Wow. So for me, I think the remote destinations where you get in a float plane, where you get into a helicopter and you get to see the views, but you also get to go to these communities. When I traveled to Nunavut, which is a territory in northern Arctic, we took a Arctic safari cruise. There was only about 100 people on it, and we went through the Northwest Passage, which is melting, so we could get through, and we were able to visit Inuit communities. some people may not be familiar with the word Inuit. It used to be Eskimo, but that's not politically correct. We say Inuit. And basically, going to those communities and meeting these incredible people, the Inuit, I felt like it was a dream come true because I had read about them my whole life in school. And also there's all these, beautiful stories and fairy tales and all this stuff. And you actually get to see people who make igloos. I mean, they don't live in igloos, but they still learn about that from their family and ancestors. So I would say Nunavut, going through the Northwest Passage. I think another focus of Seeing Canada is my Indigenous content. So I'm always trying to visit Indigenous communities and learn about them. I'm getting a chance to meet cultures and people that, I could only dream of if I wasn't actually doing the show, right?
Yeah.
The show gives you a really amazing opportunity to meet people you just wouldn't normally have a chance to meet.
What advice would you give people that are right now going, how do I include travel in the near future and the distant future?
I think that you should be thinking about open spaces, thinking about national parks, state parks, provincial parks, places where there's a lot of space that you can do things with your family, even kicking a ball around, whatever it is that you're allowed to do. Go to those places, try to get out into nature where you're not crammed inside. That's what I would want to do right now. I think also think about your local economy. They're probably suffering right now and would really appreciate for you to, buy products from there, or instead of flying somewhere, just do a staycation this summer. Drive to the state next to you or 2 states over.
Yeah.
But I think about healthcare, insurance, all that kind of stuff, and how much you want to go on an airplane, that's up to you. But you don't have to go on an airplane right now.
No, you don't. Brandy, thank you for this. It's really good to meet you. I love the show. We love the show. So will you come back and visit with us?
I will. I can't wait. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Hey guys, this channel is a celebration of all things travel, so hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.